Hello everybody, it's Dr. Matthew Johnson and
Cynthia Kreitzberg.
It's Monday morning, August 20th, 2018, 9:49 a.m. in the morning. And Cynthia and I are one day away from our 8-year anniversary of meeting at our 30th high school reunion. I kind of like her a little bit. We've been hanging out for almost 8 years, tomorrow 8 years, and dated two of her best friends in high school, saved the best one for last. Anyway, we are here once again with a great group of people who we don't know. Help! Help! Call the police! Okay, anyway, we're going to go over what happened in last night's night sit and sleepover. We have, by the way, one more event scheduled for this year. That'll be our September sleepover. There is still room if you would like to sign up. Just go to the Team Squatching USA Facebook group, go to the events page, click on September, click on going, and then there's information there where you can mail a check to cover the cost of your food. So, with that said, anything else?
Oh, just when you make out the checks, please make them out to TSUSA. Not to Matt, not to me, to TSUSA.
Or Team Squatching USA, thanks, yes. And mail them to Cynthia Kreitzberg at 130 Top Lane, Chehalis, Washington, 98532. Awesome.
You just gave out your address.
I did! Because the trolls can come here and say hello. Okay, so here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Speak loud, pretty please.
I'm Matthew,
Yes?
again, and
I like that name. Still, don't ever lose that name, buddy.
and last night was not quite as eventful as the night before, but I heard some growling and like a faint red figure, and that was about it, and some rustling in the bushes.
Okay. Thank you. Next.
Hello there, I'm Donna. And last night, my husband and I were walking down to go sit over there, and we heard trees break or pop or whatever they do. And then somebody slammed the potty door twice, but nobody was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then the night sit for me was eventful. I had lots of lights, and I saw a figure cloaked in red and blue lights everywhere. About 12:30, we heard growls and all kinds of noises, and the coyotes went off, and it was really cool. We decided we were tired, so we'd go head up to the outhouses. We come back to our cots, and our car, we have a hybrid SUV, and it opened the doors by itself, and then it locked itself. Okay, I didn't do that. And then while we were sitting out there, I had something grab my arm and just went like that. And heard lots of noises around the cot, and somebody thumped me from underneath really hard on my butt from under my cot. It was interesting.
From under your cot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was cool.
Awesome. Hello.
Hi, I'm John, back again. It was kind of interesting for me because I wasn't expecting to have any visual images, and I enjoyed the spiritual inspiration from the night before. And this time, I let my eyes wander a little and to see what I thought I would see. Anyway, there were some visual, I don't know if I would call it shimmering, but smoky, diffuse images. And then up high in the trees, when there what would have been a layer of foggy looking, I saw a very clear, distinct image, which I looked back several times, and it was still there. It looked like the porticos, the architecture on the top and the front of cathedrals, Romanesque cathedral. So it was sort of like a symbol of my looking into the spiritual experience, I think.
Cool.
But that was different.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Next. Hello.
Diane. And I saw a lot of lights, and I saw a fog, and just about it until I woke up this morning, and I make sure my sleeping bag is up all the way, and I Velcro it so it's nice and tight. Well, this morning my Velcro was open and my sleeping bag was completely unzipped and my blanket was on the ground.
Wow.
So I think I got visited.
Yeah. Maybe they did some work on you.
I think maybe so.
Awesome.
That was it.
Thank you. Rummy.
Hello, I'm Rami. Not a lot of activity for me last night, like more so the night before. We did get the call right away early on, that was really nice. A lot of the white little pinprick lights, the fog. I don't know, not necessarily a fog, but just a mist up in the upper area of the trees, and an owl hooting this morning. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Thank you.
We just had a lot of fun last night. We really did.
We did have a lot.
And with
Yeah.
Janu and the coyotes howling in chorus to one section and then later to another section. Some lights, but it was just really calm and peaceful. And I really didn't notice the time. I just went to bed because it had to be about 1 o'clock, but I really didn't care. I could have stayed up, but I just went to bed and sat there and then went to sleep. But this morning I was awakened by a really nice scream, and then one coyote call. I said, "Oh, that's my wake up call." Boom. No alarm clocks needed.
And you did a beautiful job of singing last night, 3 songs from your heart, which I appreciated very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you guys. This is a great place. Thank you.
We love you, man.
I know.
Next.
Teresa, during the sit, we had some just sparkly lights kind of going off, and I saw one blue one, and then straight o'clock, at 11 o'clock, there was one big white one, and then 2 small white ones followed it, and there was a lot of lights behind that went kind of dim, and then brightened up, and then kind of went dim. And then we heard the one coyote over here, and then they started howling. And later on, there was some more, and then the owl, and I don't know if it was a 300-pound owl or a 30-pound owl, but it kept going. It was very nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dolly.
Hello, Dolly. Or it should be, hello, darling. Hello, darling. Okay.
My sister Teresa can do that.
Yeah.
She can.
More secrets you're leaking.
I had a wonderful evening. I saw lights, I saw the mist. I finally got up nerve to walk down to introduce myself, and Dr. J walked down with me, and it was wonderful. I got probably this close to them, and I couldn't see them, it was dark, but they were there. I could feel they were there, and it was just wonderful. I'm hoping that'll help me get over my inability to do things like that, but it just was wonderful. I enjoy being here. I am so thankful that they allow people to come into the house and experience what we've experienced.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Arlo Cindy Johnson, Arlo Cindy Johnson.
Oh, I love that. I don't think it'll ever get old.
Yeah. Cindy's my sister from the same mama, but her daddy's in prison.
And yours was abducted by aliens and we've never seen him since. He done been gone for a long time.
He says, I'm out of here.
Yeah, so it came out and said, forget it, I'm gone. I saw a few pinpricks of light last night. I saw the mist come down. I heard the coyotes do their thing. The only thing odd I saw at one time, I saw way up in the tree, like a rounded window pane just kind of opened up and shut real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And looked like it was probably about that wide, and it was just like a sheet of, like you were looking through a window.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was just a flash, it happened.
Yep.
And then I saw a red streak, it was so fast that I questioned whether or not I actually saw what I saw. And other than that, that was
about it other than scaring the cat to death this morning. Coming up with all my blankets
Nope.
up over my head. He greets me every morning and walks me to the house, and when I brought my blankets up, I had it up over my head, and he looked at me like I was an alien for sure. He started backing up, and so I've had a wonderful time. I love it. A good group again. If you guys can come next month, you guys, everybody that hasn't had a chance to do this needs to come.
Yes.
So we always have people back out. We always have enough food. You don't go home hungry, I don't think.
Cindy does a good job, right, people?
So
Yeah.
come, if you have the finances and the time, I would really recommend you come. It's wonderful, you feel like family, you feel like you're home, it's super. It's really neat here.
And family and friends and dead fish all begin to stink after 3 days. Because your family, I can say, get the heck out of here. We'll see you next time. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Right, sis?
that's right.
That's right. Say hello to your daddy in prison for
Oh
me.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello. I'm back.
Yes, you are. What's your name?
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Teresa Peep.
Peep, yes, peeps. Peep.
Well, yesterday, everything got really loud for me, so I went down the hill, and it was even louder down. I could hear everything down the hill, really loud. And I just thought I need to be by myself because I was a little bit scared. I love all of you people, but I like people like 2 or 3 at a time. The whole group scared me really bad. So I went down there and I was talking to John and wife. First I got down so far and there's this little teeny bird and I just loved it and it was close. And I thought, come over here, but it didn't. It flew down, so I followed it down because I wanted to get away. I could still hear the noise, so I followed it down the hill, further down the hill. And finally it was just totally quiet. And there was a little stump here, and then there was a little cutout there, and I started to sit on the stump, and I thought, no, I might break it. So, and it might be somebody's house, or something might be even in there. So I sat right where the little divot was, and I sat there, and I was looking around, and I started talking to the Shamu, what I wanted to say up there the night before. But every time I go to get up, I get scared, and I go back, and I'd say, no, not yet, no, not yet. So I started telling him, because I know that you have to ask to receive. Or to even get interaction with them. When I'm by myself, I can ask and I can talk a lot. But when I'm in front of people, I love you all. I'm not afraid of you guys. I'm not. It's just the bigness of it. And so when I found
Because
out,
you just
all
don't
by
know this
myself,
guy really well. You'd be scared.
I was by myself and I talked. And I thought, no, I don't have to go up there and talk. I did it here. But when I asked and talked about things, this little fern was going like this to me. There was no wind, there was only one fern. There were ferns around, but there was only one going like this. And so I said, if you want me to talk, you need to help me and give me the strength to get up and go. And I sat clear in the back because I didn't want him to see me. I was clear back because I didn't want him to say, you're strong enough, you can go. And I did. I got up and I went down to Dolly. I thought, don't want to go home. It's okay. I can just stand here by Dolly for a little bit and then I can go back to my chair. No, I couldn't. They kept giving me the strength, and pretty soon my feet were just moving right up there. Well, then when I was up there in front of everybody, I was too embarrassed to turn around and come back. And I wanted to. I stopped a few times and I took some deep breaths. And I was saying things silently, but I didn't come back. And I think they know. I know they know what I was thinking, but they were helping me. And everything they do is what I want to do because I know I need to get over this. It's silly. I didn't die. You guys didn't throw arrows at me.
We didn't throw rocks at you.
Throw knives. You didn't throw tomatoes. Nothing. Nothing happened. But it's still a little bit of fear. But I did better. So it's an opening for me. And I know every time it'll get better and better. But so I came back down here because I thought I was going to get a headache, because I do that when I'm around people. It scares me and I get a headache. And so I came down here, and up in a tree I saw the blue light. That's my favorite one. Of all the lights I saw the night before, the blue light was my favorite one. And it goes up and it goes over. That's great. I heard all the noises you guys heard. I heard everything you were saying. Heard the songs. And it was so neat. And I was watching that blue light, and all of a sudden, I was still looking up, but I saw my foot light up. And this is the foot that I hurt on the horse. And it was really, it's swollen and bruised and stuff because I had a fractured ankle and torn tendons and a couple things happened to it. But that thing lit up, and I looked down, and then it was gone. As soon as I looked down, the little thing was gone. And then I never saw it come back. But my foot feels really good.
Wow.
And it was just great. I really had a good time here, and I want to come back.
Good.
I do feel at peace here, even though I'm not stuck up. I'm just a little bit scared. But I really feel good with all the people here.
Awesome. We'd love to have you back. Jury's still out on that troublemaker sister of yours. but
I'll drive.
Yeah, you'll drive? Okay. Okay. Hey, Jane.
My name's Teresa.
Oh, Teresa. No, it's not. It's Jane. You made me feel bad. You hurt my feelings. I knew it was Jane. What the heck? Okay, where are you from, Jane?
I am from Ohio.
Oh, hi. Oh.
And last night, for me, it was a tremendous night. I did hear the coyotes and the owls, but last night I saw a lot more, I don't want to say lights because it wasn't bright light, but it was it was like shimmer, not even shimmering, it just, and people will say, I didn't see orbs this time, but I saw almost pallets of light.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw up in the right side of the tree, or the 1 o'clock area of the trees, a light, flash of light. And it would open, not open and close, but I mean, it would be a flash, and then a couple minutes later, a flash again. And I thought that was really cool. And the one thing I keep seeing out here is, it looks like a big garage door gate, opening, and that would, not bright, but I mean, it would, shimmer back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely feel energy here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm feeling it right now. And I did ask for help last night. And I went to bed, and I've never slept so soundly in my life. But I felt, as soon as I went to sleep, I closed my eyes and I felt energy. Honest to God, it was just a wonderful feeling, and I fell asleep.
Awesome.
And didn't get up until the sun came up. And it was, and that's another thing. I can't hear birds. I have a hearing aid, and I have had problems for years. I didn't realize I couldn't hear birds. I thought they all left. But the last 2 mornings, I woke up to the most beautiful bird. And I think it's odd. I stayed in 2 different places, but the same bird was in my right ear, and it woke me up both mornings, and it was such a beautiful song. I've never heard it before in my life.
Wow.
But it was awesome.
Awesome.
And I do thank you, Matt and Cynthia,
Mm-hmm.
and family. You guys feel like family. Thank you so much for being here and letting me enjoy this.
We're glad you could make it.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, I'm Dawn. Lots of activity last night. So many different lights, and I saw a lot of lights that I've never seen before. One of them was almost a prism type light, like a triangular, and it had the rainbow prism look on one side of it. Saw lots of orbs, lots of dancing orbs, to the point where you could see a ribbon effect from them. Toward the end of the night, I saw almost like a bright blue, like a cobalt blue rod with a ribbon swirling around it. Saw the light through the trees and the fog, the misty fog. I had asked, because Friday night I had a shimmering figure come up in front of me. So I asked him last night, I says, I would really like to see you again. And I had a shimmering figure come up in front of me. It's about 5 to 6 foot tall. and it got to the point where I was almost like I was in a daze. And I had leaned over and I asked Matt, I said, Matt, do you see this figure? And he said, yes. And he says, do you see the eye shine? I said, no, I don't see the eye shine. So I just kind of kept looking up and down, and it stayed there, almost 5 minutes. And it felt like I was in a daze, like I said. And then all of a sudden I hear this, and I was in such a daze that I jumped because it had startled me. And I apologized to it for scaring it, because after that I didn't see it. And that's when I started seeing the prism lights and more of the dancing red lights. And right before Dr. J and Cynthia went to go to their cots, I started seeing cobalt blue lights everywhere, like somebody had decorated with Christmas tree lights, but they were that bright blue, and they just went from the ground all the way to the top of the trees. And
No, it's pretty cool. I saw that too.
it
Yep.
was amazing.
Yeah.
And Dr. J he started saying that he was seeing something but wasn't quite sure what he was seeing. And I looked over to about the 12:30 spot, and I could see shimmering figures like they were playing and running around. And they had a lot of the orangey red orbs with them.
Yep.
Like they were stirring up dust, or just, it was an energy. And they did that for a good half hour. And just a lot of amazing stuff going on.
Thank you. Hello. Do you speak English?
Just last night I saw a lot of color, and we know what color is, and that's light. I saw a bunch of blues, reds, yellows, orbs the size of a pinprick to the size of a softball. Some are crystal clear and some are just fuzzy. It was just remarkable last night, and I watched when everybody went up and said hi to them. There was always a flash. There was always a signal, like, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I saw that. And like Matt says, I'm kind of hard-headed when it comes to stuff like that. But it was there, and it didn't happen once. It happened every single time somebody went up there. So took it as data, and wasn't the same. It was different every single time. It was a different color, a different flash pattern. The love and the friendship that you make on these things, you have got to come up here. I've never had a bad time. This has been an awesome group. Awesome 3 nights. Awesome.
Thank you. I'm working on that bad time thing, buddy. Hello. Mr. Butters. Mr. Butters.
Oh, I'll have to say my name. I'm Teresa.
Yes.
Okay, I also, the coyotes and the owls. And I also heard something on the right side of me, very big stumbling around in the forest. I know it wasn't you, because you
Nope.
were just sitting next to Cynthia.
Yes, I was. She can testify to that.
And then I didn't see any red flickering lights like I did the night before, but I did see some very faint white baseball size, softball.
Softball size orbs.
Yeah. Slowly blink and then unblink itself, whatever. However you say that, I don't know. And see what else. Oh yeah, and then my lap, there were 2 really super bright balls sitting on my lap for a few seconds.
Wow.
It was bright. Really bright white. And that's about it.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, babe. Did you see or hear anything last night?
Lots of lights. I saw that dark cobalt blue for the very first time. I've never seen that particular shade before, and they were triangles dancing around. And then for a while there was a distortion really close, about 3 feet away from me, right in front of me, about 3 feet tall. And then it moved over more in front of you for a while, and then faded away. Red lights in the bush right next to me. Just a lot of sense of movement. Heard quite a bit of movement and heard quite a few vocalizations. And then, yeah, the door on the porta potty opening and closing, and
By
there was
itself.
no wind, and
Right.
there was nobody up there, so we
Right.
were all kind of looking around counting heads. That was about it.
No. Did you get up there and sing?
I got up there and sang.
And then what happened right after you were done singing?
The coyotes started singing back to me.
That was like the most beautiful chorus of coyotes yipping and yiping and howling that I've ever heard in my life. And of course the battery was dead, so I couldn't record it. Oh! But it was almost like they were responding to you.
Oh, they sounded off a number of times last night in 2 different groups.
Yeah.
The really big pack down on the other side of the wetlands, and then the other one more off to the east. But yeah, they were in fine voice last night.
Yeah, that was beautiful last night.
I have something to add.
Yes.
My memory just kicked in.
Okay.
When Pam was up talking and
Yes.
playing her song, singing,
Yes.
there was sparkles at her feet while she was moving around. It was almost like somebody had a silver 4th of July sparkler and was following her around. And then when at the first part of our sit, when we were all gathering and getting ready, Dawn came over and sat next to me, and we were talking about Native American language, and she had her hands in her lap, and a little green orb was dancing around on her sleeve. And I said, "You have a light on your phone?" And she went like that with her hand. Then she rolled her hand this way, and the green orb rolled with her sleeve.
Wow.
And then was gone.
Wow.
To stay on the yeah.
And there was a lot of the shimmery features, like you could feel like there was shimmers of people, standing. It was really neat.
Awesome.
There was a red one too, kind of over in the low-hanging branches, and it kind of got like it was going to be a red orb, and then it had a clear center, and it never quite really got to a full solid red, and then it kind of backed off. But it was really neat.
Okay.
Enjoy this group. I love these people.
Cool. Thank you. So, babe, can you film me real quick?
I can.
Okay, so we sat down. I went up and talked with everybody and then sat down, and right away at the 12 o'clock in front of us in the dark was a grunt that everyone like, whoa. So that was pretty cool. And then I was seeing everything everyone else has pretty much talked about, the orbs, the lights, the streaks, the open, the close, everything else, which was really awesome. You could feel the energy. There was also talking going on at the 2 o'clock position. When I went up to the woodpile, I could hear 2 talking right beyond the woodpile to the right a little bit. There was also bipedal movement in that area, which was pretty cool. The way the coyotes responded to Cynthia, as soon as she was done singing, it was almost like the squatches were going, and now you're on, now the coyotes. It was like perfectly timed. It was, and the thing was that those coyotes were coming across from the wetlands, on the other side of the wetlands from the Weyerhaeuser timber property. So it wasn't like they were right there listening to Cynthia be done singing and then decided to go off. So anyway, it was just kind of magical. It was really awesome. And then I went to my cot, and I'm getting in my cot, and I'm looking over towards Cynthia's cot, and I see about a 7-footer dark upright being standing at the foot of her cot for about 1.5 seconds, and then it vanished. And then I'm like, my eyes like, huh? And I look again, and there it was again for about 1.5 seconds, and then it vanished. And then I'm like, what? And then I look again, and this time it's on the side of her cot, not between our cots, but on the other side of her cot for about 1.5 seconds, and it vanished. And I thought, okay, well, she's going to get worked on tonight. So then I lay down and I begin to rest in my cot, and all of a sudden my cot starts vibrating. Like, you know, somebody put 50 cents in or something. It's like, like an earthquake for about 2 minutes. It's just nonstop. And then I'm like, ooh, this is awesome. And then a hand touched, I heard a little growlish grunt right beside my cot, and then a hand touched my arm, and then I was out. I was gone, boom. For pretty much the rest of the night. Slept like a baby. A lot of people here said they've slept like a baby most nights, right?
Shut my eyes, I was out, and I'm not a light sleeper.
So now I'm going to go up high and ask a couple quick questions, and then we're going to call it a day. So everyone watching the video is like, oh, they have stairs in their house. Let's take a tour. And so here's a bathroom where you can shower if you come. We have 3 showers, lots of toilets. Hello down there. Okay, a couple quick questions from Dr. J. Number 1, did I hypnotize any of you? No. Did you drink any Kool-Aid? No. Did you find any electronic audio or light equipment around the property? No. Is this stuff real? Yes. Should other people come here and give it a try? Okay, thank you very much. People watching this are getting really dizzy right now. Okay, this is Dr. J, and everybody else, say goodbye.